Hello, welcome to the Fall Family 15. I'm so glad you're joining us again for this week's edition, August 30th. Hopefully you have your kit like I do and you have everything you need in here. You should have crafts and snacks and your envelope with your activity pages in there. So I hope you've been having a great time doing all those things, but mostly hearing about Jesus and how much he loves us. So let's get started with some games. Are you guys ready? Show me you're ready. Awesome. I'm ready too. Let's do it.
Hi, today we're playing a game called Wake Up Disciples. Wake up, disciples!
So set out enough chairs for each player to have one. Leave space between the chairs. And I will say, fall asleep, disciples. And everybody's gonna fall asleep in their chairs. In their chairs. And then I'm gonna say, wake up, disciples! And everybody opens their eyes and has to run to another chair or find another chair. You don't have to run. Listen closely because I may say it different each time. Okay. Fall asleep, disciples. Wake up, disciples.
Move or lose.
Oh, goodness. We have one disciple that's having a hard time.
Sorry, I found
Fall asleep, disciples. Wake up, disciples.
It's fine, you're fine. You're good.
Fall asleep, disciples. Oh dear, we're not all in our chairs again. Wake up, sunshine. Wake up, disciples.
Excuse me, no boxing out as loud. In today's story, we'll find out what happens when Jesus' disciples wake up to a big surprise. I can't wait to find out what it was. Bye!
Hi guys, welcome to Craft Time.
Hi.
In today's story, you're going to hear about a time that Jesus shone brightly with glory. For today's craft, we're going to be making sun catchers that will shine when you hang them in the window. So everybody needs one sheet of contact paper that's in your little craft bag. We're going to make sure to fold it in half with the shiny part in the middle. I'm going to fold it in half. Everybody got it in half?
Mine's already in half.
All right, good. So we got it in half. And then take off only half of the paper backing because that will make it a lot easier to do. If you take off all of it, it's going to be hard to manage. So just take off half of the paper like this. And then flatten it out and you're ready to go. So you cover the sticky part of the plastic with tissue paper squares from your bag. All right, guys, show them how we do it. No, just leave it there. Just leave it there. No. Cover it with the tissue paper squares on here. All right, if you want to, you can take one of the bigger pieces of tissue paper and write Jesus showed his glory on it, like Audrey did. Show it to you. All right, or once you finish your sun catcher, you can write Jesus showed his glory on the outside with permanent marker, like Andrew and Edward are going to. Andrew, do you want to put your pieces up? Put your pieces up? Oh, and then we'll write on the outside.
looks like we're doing squares, but I want to cut it. But I'll cut it.
You're gonna cut it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can all once you've finished and covered the sticky part with tissue paper, you'll take the paper off the other side and fold it in half so that you have your tissue paper trapped in between your two pieces of contact paper. Then you can hang it up in the window and enjoy. If you want to, you can cut it into a shape, and we'll show you how to do that when we're done with our sun catchers. All right, when you're putting your paper on, be careful to make sure there's just one layer of paper, or that there's plenty of open areas of sticky for the other side to stick to. Otherwise, your sun catcher might not seal up very well.
There's a piece of.
So let's leave that open so that they can stick to it. All right, so peel off the rest of the paper, fold your contact paper over, and match up your edges and seal your sun catcher. Squish it down nice and tight so everything sticks to itself.
Why is the sun catcher?
Why is it called the sun catcher? Because when you put it in the window, the sun shines through and makes pretty colors. So you can put yours up in the window as a square, or you can cut it into a shape. And remember, you can write on the outside, Jesus showed his glory. This is what it looks like when you write, Jesus showed his glory on the outside. And there's a finished sun catcher. Pick a sunny window to hang up your sun catcher and enjoy. Whew, that was a good game. It was a great craft. Thank you so much to our friends who are sending in their videos, demonstrating those things for us. It is so fun to see your faces. I miss all of your faces. And if you would like to volunteer to help send in a video, just have your grown-up email me and I will put you on the list. So it's almost time for our story, but before we go to our story, I would love for you to practice the big picture question with me, okay? Does anyone remember the big picture question? I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with miracles. Okay, the big picture question is, why did Jesus perform miracles? Well, why did Jesus perform miracles? Do you remember? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, that's right. Jesus performed miracles to show he is the Son of God. Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time, and then you can say it with me. How about? Why did Jesus perform miracles? Yes, Jesus performed miracles to show he is the Son of God. And that's important because Jesus wasn't just a great guy who came on earth and was really nice to people, although he was. He was a great guy who was really nice to people, and he was God, the God who made the whole world, came down to earth and was kind and healed people, but he needed people to know that God had sent him so that they could believe in him and that he could rescue us. So that's why that big picture question and answer is so important. Let's get ready today to hear our story about what Jesus did with his disciples. If you have your Bible, you can open it to the following. Let me look up what passages they are. Matthew 17, Mark 9, and Luke 9. So if you'd like to follow along in your own Bible, those are the passages that you can look at. Also, if you have a snack bag, you can get it out and have your snack, okay?
One day, Jesus led 3 of his disciples, Peter, James, and John, up on a high mountain to pray. The disciples fell fast asleep. As Jesus prayed, his appearance suddenly changed. His face was shining like the sun, and his clothes were as white as the light. The disciples woke up and saw Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Peter said, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you want, I will set up 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While Peter was still speaking, a bright cloud suddenly covered them. A voice from the cloud said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." The disciples heard this and fell face down. They were terrified. Jesus came up and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When the disciples looked up, they did not see Moses or Elijah anymore. They only saw Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus said to them, "Don't tell anyone what you saw until the Son of Man is raised from the dead." The disciples did not tell anyone, but they wondered what Jesus meant. They asked him, "Why do the scribes say that Elijah must come before the Messiah comes?" Jesus explained that Elijah had already come. That is, a prophet like Elijah had come. The people did not recognize him as a prophet and they mistreated him. Jesus said, "In the same way, the Son of Man is going to suffer at their hands." Then the disciples realized Jesus was talking about John the Baptist. Jesus showed his glory to Peter, James, and John. Jesus said he would die, rise from the dead, and return to heaven. One day, Jesus will come back to earth in his glory to make all things new.
What a great story. So interesting to see how Jesus chose to reveal his glory to his friends, and then that he was very mysterious about it and wanted them to keep it quiet. So I have some questions for you, some reflection questions, and you can answer those to me or to your grown-up if they're nearby. And remember, if there are older and younger kids answering these together, make sure the older kids, you guys are letting the younger kids have a chance to think and answer before you jump in with your answer, okay? I know you're super listeners, so I know that you're going to know the answer to these questions, but let's make sure everybody has a chance to answer them. So the first question is, whom did Jesus take with him up the mountain? Okay, good. So once they were on top of the mountain, something changed about Jesus. How did the way Jesus looked change? Yes, right? Okay, when the disciples awoke, whom did they see talking with Jesus? If I had been a disciple, I would have been very, very surprised. What about you? And finally, what did the voice from the cloud call Jesus? Okay, and for you older kids, why do you think that's important, that the voice from the cloud said that? Yeah, it's really important that people know that Jesus is God's Son. Well, great listening. Before we close for the day, I would love to work on our key verse one more time, and hopefully I won't even have to look at my little paper down here to say the verse. Hopefully I know it by now, and hopefully you do too. It comes from Psalm 40, verse 5, and it says, "Many, Lord my God, are the wonders you have done, the things you have planned for us. None can compare with you." Did I get it right? Oh, almost. All right, let's try it one more time. Many, Lord my God, are the wonders you have done, the things you planned for us. None can compare with you. We did it. Okay, keep working on that verse, and then next week we will have a new verse to work on and memorize. I'm so glad that we finished this unit together. We will be passing out a new Fall Family 15 kit next week. So stay tuned for that, and let's close in worship, and I'll see you next time.
and you'd give anything to feel the sun. Always reaching, always climbing, always second guessing the timing. But God has a plan, a purpose in this. You are his child, and don't you forget. He put that hunger in your heart. He put that fire in your soul. His love is the reason to keep on believing. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like giving in, his love is the reason to keep on believing. If we could pull back the curtain of heaven, we would see his hand on everything. Every hour, every minute, every second, he's always been in it. Don't let a shadow of a doubt take hold. Hold on to what you already know. He put that hunger in your heart. He put that fire in your soul. His love is the reason to keep on believing. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like giving in, his love is the reason to keep on believing. It's the reason, it's the reason, his love is the reason. He's the peace in the madness that you can't explain. He's the hope in the heartbreak, the rest in the suffering. He's closer than the air you breathe, from the start to the end, to the in-between. Don't you dare doubt even for a minute what he started in you, yeah, he's gonna finish. He put that hunger in your heart.